Today, we are diving into a concept that, honestly, feels more relevant every single day: technopolitics. We're going to unpack this whole idea by looking at a really foundational text from Douglas Kellner that's all about the intense struggle over technology's role in our political lives.
So let me just start by asking you this. That phone you're probably holding right now, or the laptop you're watching this on, is it a tool for democracy, a way to make things better? Or is it actually a threat to it? That question right there, that's the real tension at the heart of everything we're talking about today.
And don't worry, we've got a roadmap. We'll start with what technopolitics even is, then we'll look at the good, the promise, and the bad, the perils. We'll get some historical perspective to see how we got here, and wrap up with 2 possible paths for change. All right, let's jump right in.
First things first, what in the world is technopolitics? Now, you need to know this isn't some dusty, settled term. The source material calls it a highly charged and contested terrain. And that's the key. It's a battlefield of ideas.
Okay, so what does that mean in plain English? At its core, technopolitics is all about how new technologies, especially the internet, become the tools and the territory where political battles are fought. It's how everyone from grassroots activists to the most powerful people on the planet uses tech to spread their message and push their agenda.
So, let's start on the sunny side of the street. Let's talk about the promise of technology. This is the optimistic, almost utopian view that technology could be this incredible force for good, a genuine game changer for democracy.
So how is it supposed to help? Well, the thinking goes that it empowers people who were totally shut out before. It lets radical new ideas get out there, completely bypassing the old gatekeepers in the media. And in a perfect world, this means we all become better informed and the whole political conversation just opens up to way more people. It all comes down to one word: empowerment. But you knew there was a but, right? It's not that simple. There's a really strong counter-argument from a group of critics that Kellner calls deliberative Democrats. And their take is that this new digital world, well, it's a pretty terrible substitute for real, meaningful democratic debate.
You know what's kind of wild is that these critiques are from 1999, but they sound like they were written yesterday. The digital divide, where not everyone has the same access, still a massive problem. Information overload, we're living it. And unreliable information, that's just what we now call fake news and disinformation, right? The critics say these online shouting matches are nothing like the thoughtful face-to-face discussion that a healthy democracy actually needs.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It's the 2 competing visions side by side. On one hand, you have this amazing dream of more people having a voice, power being spread out, and citizens who know what's going on. But on the other hand, you've got this nightmare of inequality, total confusion, and a political world driven by manipulation. This, right here, is the battle of technopolitics. So who's right? The optimists or the critics? Well, according to Kellner, that might be the wrong question to even ask. He says instead of thinking of tech as just good or bad, we need to look back at history. Because the truth is, the way we do politics has always been shaped by whatever the communication tech of the era was.
And you can see this evolution so clearly here. Think about it. Back in ancient Greece, politics was all oral. It was about giving great speeches. Then the printing press came along, and suddenly politics was about writing powerful arguments. Then you get TV and radio, and politics becomes a spectacle of images and sound bites. The internet? It's just the next massive shift in this long story. This table really nails the fundamental difference. Broadcast media, the old TV networks, was a one-to-many, top-down system. A few powerful people controlled the message. The internet, though, is totally different. It's many-to-many. It's decentralized. Suddenly, anyone can be a publisher, and that breaks the monopoly those old gatekeepers had. It's a huge structural change in how political information even moves.
And this quote just says it all. The point isn't that we just added technology to politics. It's that technology fundamentally transforms what politics even is. The rules of the game, the skills you need, what it even means to participate. All of it changes when the medium changes.
Okay, so if technology is this battlefield, how do you actually fight on it? Kellner doesn't just leave us with the problem. He lays out a really practical, 2-part strategy for anyone who wants to use tech to build a better, more inclusive democracy.
So here's the game plan, and you need both parts. First, you have to fight from the inside. That means pushing the big, mainstream media companies to do better, to be more democratic, to be more responsible. But at the exact same time, you have to build from the outside. You create your own platforms, your own alternative news sources where you are in complete control of the message. You can't just do one or the other. It won't be enough.
And honestly, this might be the most important point of all. The end goal isn't just to win Twitter arguments. The goal is to use all these digital tools to organize people, to inform them, and to mobilize them for action in the real world. Technology has to be the bridge that connects what happens online to actual movements and real social change.
So where does all this leave us today? Remember, this was all written back in 1999. That's before Facebook, before Twitter, before TikTok, before the whole world we live in now. The tools have changed in ways we could have never imagined. But the fundamental struggle he described, the fight over whether these tools build us up or tear us down, that hasn't changed at all. The struggle for technopolitics really is the struggle for the future of democracy itself.